custody.
Don't do it.
There's a bond between us, but I am inevitable.
Wait, did you say Wade? Allow me, buddy, old pal. I just saved the Avengers 5 years of work. I love bullets. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today we're taking a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Deadpool 2 cable. Extra special thanks to Troy up in Canada who found these at his Walmart's like a week ago. So he said, hey, do you want a Marvel Legends cable? And I said, yeah, I'd like a cable. But I am seeing that these are hitting Walmarts in the States right now. In fact, on Pop Finder, a couple of my Walmarts show them in stock. So if you're wanting this, it may be worth checking out your Walmart because this is a Walmart exclusive. Also, hit up Troy on Troy Collects Toys on Instagram. But looking at the package, this is what well, I don't know. It's inspired by that 10th anniversary, 80 years. It's kind of this special packaging just for this line. And with the Deadpool movie stuff, it's very Deadpool-centric. It looks like Wade has come along and marked some stuff out here and there, which we also saw with the Nolan Trilogy Dark Knight Joker stuff. He'd come along and shh and put smileys and woo. The window's showing most of what we're getting here, but the background seems really plain, just the white and the black X. But that's just the trash covering my toy. On the side, we get a stylized picture of Cable, Marvel Legends. On the back, that same thing, you can see Nathan Summers has been marked out and Cable written in. Warnings in all kinds of languages down here. Don't put them in your mouth. On the other side, second verse, same as the first. On top, Deadpool logo covering the Marvel Legends logo. On the bottom, Marvel Legends 1701. But let's get this open and see how he stacks up against other Marvel Legends MCU figures. It's kind of weird that Cable's the first one we get out of the Deadpool movie stuff, but I'm not complaining. Hopefully that Deadpool 2-pack with Negasonic Teenage Warhead is right around the corner, and then Domino. I definitely need Domino too. Oh, is the cape going? Oh, yeah. It's kind of going through the back. Not a problem. And I guess if you want to pull this out and use this as a background, a very, very basic background, you can do that too. But getting Cable out and messing with him for the past hour or so, he is not a bad start to this subline. Don't get me wrong, I still need a Deadpool or 3, but this gets me even more excited for that release. Trying to compare all the details here to the movie design, and it looks like Hasbro pretty much nailed it. But it worked out in their favor because of the whole licensing thing, and this is coming out quite a ways after the Deadpool 2 movie was actually released, so they can use actual footage to get the details here. They're not working off concept art that may be changed at any minute, and by the time they get the toy out, the movie's different, and then, oh no, Hasbro sucks! There may be a few stray details here and there, but for the most part, yep. There's some nice detail to the chest armor with some extra ammo hanging here. Got some grenades or something up here on the shoulder, and please remember that I said or something. If those aren't grenades, be nice. Same thing for the back. Very nice sculpt, showing a lot of detail. Shirt sleeve rolled up, showing the musculature on the arm, the veins. Working down to a fingerless glove, and then on the other side, you have the metal arm. Of course, it's Cable. You gotta have that. Beautiful detailed sculpt here. I mean, all the way around. And that works down to a fingerless glove here, but you can see the metal fingers. What I like the most here is that both arms look proportionate. Sometimes when there's a robot arm and they reuse parts, they don't seem to match. But since Cable is a completely unique sculpt that's, well, it's only going to be used for Cable here, they could take both arms and go, oh, this should be the size of this arm. Forgot to mention that the chest armor is a full overlay, and there seems to be a shirt sculpt underneath. There's some wrinkles. It doesn't look like there's any place to separate it. Some kind of factory magic. But then the belt is also a separate piece. Rides up, you have a couple of holsters here which come into play with the accessories that make me so happy. Some more ammo, and then of course the teddy bear. And then for the pants, it has a very fatigues look. It has the pockets here on the side. Same pocket on the right side, and some kind of cable running around the leg. And it wasn't until I said it out loud that I realized, oh, Cable. Bunchy look, beautiful wrinklage going all the way down to the boot. that gets really, really tight. And at first you think, oh, that looks small, but it's realistic, you know? It's got a couple buckles around the top of the boot and then some laces poking out there. And while there is some paint in places, this green on the chest armor, and I love this copper look here. The teddy bear looks like it's glued on there. It's a separate piece, and it's in kind of a beige color. And I can't gripe about them painting the silver on the buckle, which is one of my major gripes. There also seems to be silver on the inside of this grayish silver plastic on the arm. And that travels up to the neck with some of that technovirus, or whatever the movie calls it, poking through the neck here and on the spine. But otherwise, on the rest of the chest armor, and then the arm, and especially the pants and the boots, I wish there was some kind of wash here to dirty it up. Cable is a grungy guy, and this just feels too clean. Too plasticky. I always hate to say too toy-like because it's a toy. But some dirt down here, some dust, maybe some color to the veins on the arms just to make them stand out a little bit. But they make up for that in the face and the hair. And it being a movie figure, you gotta nail the likeness or it just doesn't work. They have some color to the scars, to the damage to the face, some lips. I absolutely dig the left eye with its yellow glowy look. And then the right eye is looking up, which at first you think, why is he looking up? But it's meant for this cocked down look where, okay, I'll give you anything you want, Mr. Cable. And you can go as far as you want and it keeps looking meaner and meaner. There's some fade to the hair back here where it's shaved, and then up on top you can see the gray. And that helps bring out the detail there a bit. Another thing that stands out at me is how much gap there is in the shoulder. At first I almost thought, well, there's a butterfly hiding in there, but it's not. There's also this sculpted work on the top of the metal arm that it tries to snag if you don't shift it down a little bit and then push it in. So maybe that's larger for that reason, and then they matched it on both sides where this one doesn't have a shoulder pad and it's just kind of left floating. Again, not terrible, but it does stand out in silhouette just slightly. Going over articulation, there is a dumbbell joint up at the top of the neck. It tries to work against itself. You can't just go boop. You have to shift back and then kick up, bring it forward and shift down. Well, it's not so much bearing the chin as it's slightly looking down. Oh, but watch this. Tilt! Tilt! So much tilt! And I love that on MCU type characters or realistic figures because it adds so much personality if you can just cock it or tilt it just a bit. And then of course that swivels. There's a hinge at the shoulder coming up to about there. Rotates all the way around. Oh, what happened there? It looks like something tore into it. Did I just do that? Yeah, it looks like the ridge around the torso hole for the shoulder, it's a little bit sharp. If you take this and it's up and just crank on it like I just did just now, you're going to shave some plastic off. There's a swivel at the bicep. Double elbow up all the way. And you would think, oh, metal arm on the other side doesn't go all the way. It goes pretty much just as far. Trigger finger means up and down hinge. Perfect. And then swivel. And that's the same on both sides. There's a hinge at the torso where the body armor slightly gets in the way, but it does crank forward, arcs back, swivel at the waist, ball comes out to the hip, comes all the way up, back, out. Oh yeah, Cable can beat Spider-Man. Swivel at the thigh, double knee. Oh, no, not gonna make it because the bagginess around the knees. That cable's getting in the way. Swivel at the boot, hinge at the ankle goes back, goes forward, and then forward facing pin for rocker. For accessories, Cable comes with trigger finger hands, both left and right, because you hear Cable and you automatically think, oh, shooting. But then it also comes with a pair of fists, and that's easy enough to just pop out, and that slips right in. Cable also comes with his cape, his shoulder overlay, his poncho. This is a nice sculpt, and it has some grunginess to it. I don't know if it's because of different finishes or what. And it seems like there's a hood, and this comes down to a couple of sleeves or something. I'm not quite sure what this is, but it hangs around his neck. And there, you don't even have to pop the head off. It just slips right over. And it's sculpted to lay really well over the, the grenades and then hang down over the right. There's some room to it, so it flops around slightly. And that's on top of it being thick and heavy. So it does do some back dragging whenever you try to stand them straight up. But of course, you lean forward slightly and it works. I can't help but think that I may be in the market for a cloth replacement though. Cable comes with a fairly simple looking pistol. The shapes there, it has some sculpt to the grip and various details, and then molded in black plastic. Seems a little small, but it makes Cable feel big. There's something working for it here. But if you don't want to use that, there is this holster back here, and that fits. I said it fits right in. Get in there. Oh, you have to actually be putting it in the holster. Comes with this big honkin' rifle that he made out of various weapons. And from what I can tell, or at least quickly comparing to pictures online, they went all out on the accuracy here. It has the flashlight on the side, the scope up on top, this sticking out of the bottom, even has the wrap around the stock. But then it comes with these two separate pieces that you can use in various ways. Again, I'm assuming this shoots the grenades up on his shoulder. And in pictures, this is what I mostly see attached to the big gun. There's a long peg, there's a slot on it, it just plugs right in there. But then there's also this that seems like can hold it here, and it fires something out here. I don't remember this from the movie. I need to watch that again. But in most pictures, I see it holstered right here on the front. And then he can also hold it to fire it by itself. But there's also a slot in it on the top with this on here, and it works, but I don't remember this look. Was it somewhere in the movie? A nifty thing about this being separate, though, you can put this in his left hand where he's going to hold it, and then you can get the rifle in his right hand. And when you bring it all together, the chest armor does like to get in the way a bit, but once you're here, you can get it where you want and then just plug that in, and he's already holding it. You're good to go. They even have the volume knob sculpted on the inside right there. I wish it was painted. There is some brown, a little bit of green, but otherwise it's all in black plastic. Cable stands at 6¼ inches tall to the top of his hair, which is slightly tall for Josh Brolin's 5'10". But it still looks good with other MCU characters. I wish I had Deadpool characters, but not yet. It's about even with the in-game Captain America. Chris Evans is 6 foot, something like that. They made the Cable figure slightly tall. Here he is with the Marvel Legends comic book Colossus and comic book Deadpool with a custom shirt. But it is slightly smaller than the Mezco 1/12 Collective Cable, and then definitely shorter than the Marvel Legends comic book Cable. But he looks cableously big, compared to the Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper and the Marvel Legends comic book Black Panther. Or maybe he traveled back to help G.I. Joe in their fight for freedom. Wherever there's trouble, G.I. Joe's there. Alright, getting some action pose on it. It is kind of a pain in the ass. Bring the head to the gun, but then you raise the gun and the cape, or the whatever the hell around the shoulders, pushes the head up. So, a little frustrating. So at the end of the day, I am more than happy to have a Deadpool movie Cable on the shelf. Now, I do have my nitpicks. Like I just said, it can be a pain in the butt to get into action poses. And then, of course, there's the lack of paint that makes it look plain, for lack of a better word, I guess. But it definitely catches Josh Brolin's look in Deadpool 2. Overall, once we get the Deadpool 2-pack with Negasonic Teenage Warhead and then Domino, and then hopefully more characters down the line, this Deadpool display is looking good. Like I mentioned way back at the first, this is a Walmart exclusive, which can be a bear for some people. But if you can believe Pop Finder, which I just checked a minute ago before recording this last part, all my local Walmarts have gotten Cable in stock. But again, that may not be everybody's area. I am in Arkansas. It's the home of Walmart. On top of that, the price tag on this is $24.99. That may be because it's one of those anniversary figures, like the 10th anniversary of MCU or the 80th of Marvel, where we got more dedicated sculpts for the figures, which means more cost. Or are we going to see a price hike on Marvel Legends in the upcoming future? I don't know. I tend to believe that because this is exclusive and one of those special figures, that's the reason for the higher price, but I don't know. I see toys going up soon. So if you enjoyed the review, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus if you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. Yeah, this thing's gonna get replaced ASAP. You even grab the figure and it just wants to boop right up on his face. I'm Cable. Whoa.